Welcome, Dave.
Thank you, Joey.
What is Prosper.io benefits?
Prosper.io benefits is a product experience which is helping salaried employee like us to claim the reimbursable allowances and save tax on that. And we call it as a nomenclature-wise FBP, Flexi Benefit Plan. Right.
Okay.
So it's majorly impacting the enhanced salary employee takes home after deducting the taxation. And we majorly hit at the area where people can reduce the tax by claiming the reimbursable allowances which are their daily expense and needs. उसमें आपका बेसिक कंपोनेंट होता है, HRA होता है, एंड देन यूजुअली कंपनी फॉलो दिस वे टू keep all other things in a special routes, right?
Yeah.
And some of the MNCs or maybe like companies which are more aware towards the salary structure, they give some kind of allowance, जैसे conveyance हो गया, right? और different kind of allowances हो गए.
वो other allowances या special allowance जैसा आता है salary slip में वो part.
Correct. So
Okay.
FBP में what is something which comes is like apart from your basic and HRA, which is a government norm to keep.
Yeah.
Right? Everything else means like your 30% of the salary easily you can keep as a flexi benefit basket.
Okay.
And these basket will hold like reimbursable allowances like your travel to office. आप अपने व्हीकल यूज कर रहे हो ऑफिस पर्पस के लिए उसके मेंटेनेंस का क्लेम देन योर इंटरनेट विच वी frequently use for official work, right? Your phone bills, right? ये सारी चीजें, your mental wellness or physical wellness, gym subscriptions, these things can come under the flexi benefit basket.
Okay.
Right?
Got it. And ये flexi benefits use कैसे कर सकता है एक एम्प्लॉय? क्योंकि मैं मेरा एक्सपीरियंस बताती हूँ. ओवर द इयर्स कभी कभी अदर अलाउंसेस या स्पेशल अलाउंसेस लेके आते हैं सैलरी स्लिप में, बट मुझे पता नहीं होता कि इसे क्लेम कैसे करना है या किसी ने मतलब सिखाया नहीं हमें, तो वो कैसे सॉल्व हो रहा है?
That's the major interesting thing. First is like other allowance and special allowance is not FBP, right? तो FBP के लिए
अच्छा.
एम्प्लॉयर को भी अपने सैलरी में स्ट्रक्चर में अमेंड करना पड़ता है कि नाउ द अदर अलाउंसेस विल बी कॉल्ड एज फ्लेक्सी बेनिफिट्स
ओके.
विद डिफरेंट सेट ऑफ ऑप्शंस जो हम लोग प्रोवाइड करते हैं फॉर एवरी एम्प्लॉय, कस्टमाइजेबल इन देयर हैंड.
ओके.
इंटरेस्टिंग फैक्ट इज लाइक FBP जो है मतलब कंपनीज आर गिविंग फ्रॉम 10-15 ईयर्स, राइट? प्रॉब्लम क्या है कि 85 और 90% लोगों को अवेयरनेस ही नहीं है कि मतलब क्या क्लेम करना चाहिए, SOP क्या है, whether this bill will be this claim will be rejected or accepted, right? क्या अब मतलब इस जनरेशन में जब हम लोग फास्ट पेस से ग्रोथ को चेस करते हैं उस टाइम पे एक 100 रुपए का 1000 रुपए का बिल्स को ईयर एंड तक रखना दिस वेरी मच ओवर एट.
एग्जैक्टली. एंड वो क्लेम कहाँ करना है वो भी नहीं पता.
है लाइक एंड सबमिटिंग दिस टू ईमेल थ्रू ईमेल्स और very like frugal channel, right? It's an overhead to HR, other people, right? What if there's something getting missed out, right?
True.
तो Prosper जो ऑफर करता है that is a simple solution where employee has a app, right? Where they can log into the app, they can submit their claims, invoices on the fly, on the run. They're doing some payments immediately. They can submit that, right? And then Prosper का जो backend engine है which we have built, right? That is verifying those expenses, those claims, right? By using the SOP automation, AIV, right? So this is how like we are also reducing the I would say like time to approve a claim. Also like facilitating the big unicorn company in a much smaller workforce. Right?
ओह, वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग. तो अगर आज के डेट में मुझे अगर मेरी कंपनी ने Prosper.io बेनिफिट्स अडॉप्ट किया, तो एज एन एम्प्लॉई ऑल आई हैव टू डू इज एक्सेस एन ऐप. इज दिस
Yes.
ओके? एंड वो ऐप पे जाके मैं बस बिल्स अपलोड करूंगी एंड Prosper.io के बैकएंड इंजन विल वेरीफाई दो.
Verify these bills.
ओह, वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग. व्हिच टेक्स मी टू द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन कि इसमें AI का क्या रोल है? हम Prosper.io बेनिफिट्स से, बिकॉज यू सेड कि काफी सालों से ये हो रहा है,
Correct.
बट यूजर अडॉप्शन में प्रॉब्लम रही है,
Hmm.
राइट? तो अवेयरनेस, अडॉप्शन इश्यूज हम Prosper.io बेनिफिट से कैसे सॉल्व कर रहे हैं?
कि सबसे बड़ी प्रॉब्लम क्या है कि मतलब you don't know like which kind of claims will be acceptable, right? Plus like you are not able to plan like your expenses in such a way like they can be tax free, right? Let's say जैसे आज आप एक जिम की मेंबरशिप लेते हो तो let's say like you are spending 8,000 rupees per year, बट एक्चुअली अगर आप टैक्स क्लेम्स करते हो, राइट, उस पे अगर आपके एम्प्लॉयर उसको एज ए FBP बेनिफिट देते हैं तो यू विल बी सेविंग 30% ऑन दैट. सो द सेम 8,000 rupees सब्सक्रिप्शन फॉर अ जिम will become nearly like your 6,000 or 5,500,
Hmm.
right? So this is much over value added to you, which people don't realize.
Correct.
So if we are developing something which can suggest people like, okay, this kind of expense which you have already done, right, can be claimed by reading their statements, reading their approved emails, right, channels, right? We will be able to figure out also like what kind of expenses will be claimed automatically, so that people doesn't have hassle to figure out, oh, मेरे SOP में इस type के reimbursement में ये claim ही हो सकता है, right? Those kind of jargons or understanding will be completely removed from people's mind.
Understood.
Right. So this is what AI can change, right? Because AI can understand your expenses, right? The need behind it, the kind of nature of job you are doing, whether that allows that or not, right?
Got
So AI will make sure like not just policy checks are done, but also like people are first and aware as a first principle, like what can be claimed and what cannot be claimed. Plus, like AI can automatically fetch those expenses through your emails and whatever kind of approvals you give. So this is what we are developing as an aspect.
Can you tell me how this product is beneficial to CHROs?
So for CHRO, see like BP is not an benefits is not a very I would say like new concept, it's a very old concept. But the problem happens is like driving the engagement with the employees, making sure like policies are there and it's also followed by the people, right? Making sure like people are submitting the claims on right times, get approved on right time, and driving all this ecosystem is a bit of a challenge and overhead to any of the HR people, right? Having other kind of job in growing environment, right? So this is very helpful in terms of like they need not to be doing anything, right? Apart from just giving us an approval to launch, right? Post that we take care of everything, employee engagement, they're able to claim or not, and then inputs in the payroll, complete end-to-end solution, right? So this is how it helps the CHRO to also create value in terms of employee satisfaction, like they are able to provide something to take care of employee financial wellness as well. The people like who take care of the budget, finances, the company, right? So for CFO, the major upper hand of Prosper benefits is like they are able to give much more in-hand money to the people, right, without increasing the CTC, right? And for them, CFOs, the major problem is like governing the policy, right? Whether they are updated with the laws and recent amendments in the income tax laws or not, right? And we take care of all the compliances measures, plus like let's say like you're a CFO of a company and you are giving someone 30 lakh rupees salaries, right? And they're getting 20 lakh in hand or 25 lakh in hand. Now they're getting 26 or 28 lakh in hand, right? So this kind of increase is significant raise for any CFO to create value for the people, right?
Very interesting. तो adoption कैसा रहा है आज तक हमारा when you've analyzed data with our clients and everything?
So adoption obviously like vary income range to income range, but if I take a sweet spot of people earning 20 lakh to 50 lakh of income, right? They're able to increase their in-hand salary by 4 to 5%, right?
Each month.
Each month, right?
That's a big amount.
And major thing is like, see, if someone asks you to upload those kind of claims on the fly, or maybe like let's say like month on month basis, it's very easy for you, right?
Absolutely.
And once the people are able to understand the benefit, right, we don't have to engage with them through let's say like any of the channels to remind them much hard way like you to claim or not. It's very, very smooth, like okay, you are claiming this set of expenses this month, you are again claiming this set of expenses next month. Even if your expenses changes a category to, let's say like you have some unfortunately some medical emergency and your expenses are high in medical, you can rebalance it through our applications, right? So these all things like, see, our way of driving adoption is also making sure like features and app is that much handy, that much adaptable towards the users, apart from just driving it through communications or marketing channels, right?
Got
So this has played a huge role in stabilizing many of the unicorn companies we have rolled out.
So Dev, interesting you mentioned that this is an enterprise app जो बहुत सारे users use कर रहे होंगे, employees of different companies. Do you mind telling maybe the company size or some of the names who've already started using Prosper.io benefits and reaping the rewards of it?
So we have launched this particular thing interestingly, like this is working in company which are 500 size organization, and also companies which are 10,000, 20,000 size organization. And we are launching with many of the new unicorns. You will hear many of the newses, right, in recent times, right?
kudos to you and your team, because building an app that's being used by an employee size of 500 and a 10,000 size company is remarkable. And as an employee, let's go through my Flexi Benefits app, and you can tell me, how one can use it and how one can claim.
Correct.
Can I pull it out of my phone and show you?
Sure.
So this is my interface.
Correct. So you can see here like the amount which is coming as your monthly MPP limit. Let's say 70,000, right? Approximately that. So that means like you have different categories here, right? You can see here you have fuel, fitness, then telephone, food, lot of categories there, right? So you can balance these this 70,000 according to your need in these categories, right?
Okay.
So let's say like we have change the limits, right? Which can tell you like what is the limit you want to set across categories, which you can
Understood.
easily consume, because need for you and me like will be very, very different.
Yes.
Right?
So this is completely customizable for an employee. Got it.
And second is like, let's say like you have used the internet, right, for the office and purpose. And you have the invoices, let's say you have it from the
Yes.
provider. So you can go here, you can click continue, you can enter the amount, right?
Let's say 2,500.
2,500, and then you can upload the invoice.
Got it.
So the moment you upload the invoice,
Ji.
the background system runs
Haan.
and that check the validity of the invoices. Right?
Okay. Got it.
So this is very simple, like 2-3 step process, and you can day to day also do it, like you can weekly also do it. So it's not like you need to wait for the year.
This is also very interesting, the privacy button, which means that we are taking data privacy seriously as well, right?
Correct. So what happens like in organizations, like we generally like reach out to our peers to help us out if you're new, like to get the guidance of the app, right? And it has sensitive data because it is a part of your salary.
Yes.
Right? So that is why these privacy measures are there. We are taking a lot of data protection, data security measures, so that like the data is secured throughout the VPC network. And because we are dealing with a lot of enterprise companies, so these measures are important, right?
Yeah.
And whenever the organization shifts, like how we are able to give the download to the users, plus like how we are able to launch them for the same user in different organizations. A lot of different levers we are maintaining here to show like obviously like we are dealing with compliances, laws and policies. So data security and data protection is the biggest concern for us, which we are taking care in a much richer way. So Julia, now like you understood the Flexi benefits.
Yes.
So I want to ask you some myth versus fact, right? So from my side, like is the Flexi benefits, right, only applicable for old tax regime?
I think so.
No, not really, right? This is applicable to new tax regime also, right? Apart from few sections, right? Few of the allowances.
Okay.
It's very much applicable. That simply means like you can much more lower your taxes on the new increased limit also.
Oh, interesting. So both old tax regime, new tax regime में Prosper.io benefits is applicable. And ये जो सारी categories देखी मेरे phone में, I think मेरे पास कुछ 12 categories visible थी. तो ये सारी कैटेगरीज हमेशा से रही हैं, ये तो मतलब मैं पहली बार देख रही हूँ. 12 कैटेगरीज बहुत ज्यादा लग रही हैं. वैसे तो मुझे लगा सिर्फ फूड कन्वेंस होता है.
I think 60s में जब टैक्स रिफॉर्म हुआ था उस टाइम से, right? It was very old time, right? I remember the year, but it's very old time these things are running around, right? But ये इतना restrictive था, right? What people were knowing about just claiming HR and LTA, right? और different चीजें जो हैं, which is can easily reduce your tax benefits. People are not aware and not good application to facilitate it also, right? So now I would say like if you talk about availability wise, these are available from very long time, right? This is not a recent thing which government introduced.
So multiple categories, almost 12-13 categories में ये applicable होगा. Prosper.io benefits has made it super easy with an app. I think it's very intuitive, as you must all have seen as well. And I feel like every week, if I just cull out 15 minutes from my schedule to just upload the bills, is it taxi के bills हो गए, Zomato के हो गए, it's very easy for me to do it क्योंकि सारा कुछ digital है, सारा कुछ phone में है. So super interesting.
See, like in this era, like creating value for employee, right, is very important, right? Because like obviously it reduce like churn from the company. It also improve the satisfaction, right? and if there is some provision which already exists, right, which can be benefited, so as in decision maker of the company, it's our duty to do that, right? And the way why we have built this product is also towards creating value for the normal people, right, which are not very much knowledgeable on these things, right? So yeah, if anyone want to try using Prosper IBP or want to understand what we are building, right, feel free to reach out to us through LinkedIn and our channels.
Perfect. Thank you so much for your time today and explaining everything about Prosper.io benefits. Good luck to you and the team to soar even higher than here.
Thank you, Julie.